Okay, now let's make a nose cone for our X-Wing. This is actually the 12th time I've recorded the nose cone tutorial part, because the first time I actually did it right, I forgot to hit record, and the second time I bumped the record button halfway through. But to make the nose cone, the first thing we want to do is add in a plane. The second thing we want to do is select our body, hit Shift S, cursor to selected. Then, with our plane selected, hit Control Alt Shift C, origin to 3D cursor. Because we're going to add in a mirror modifier, and the mirror modifier uses the origin point as its mirror point. So there we go. Go in tab mode, and there we go. We have our two planes. Turn on clipping, stick them together, and then just position them where you need them. Alright, I'm gonna line the vertice up about where I need it, and then I'm gonna hit Z. Oop. Bring that down, bring that together a bit. Okay, there we go. Then I hit Tab, Z, C, bring this down. I'm gonna add in a loop cut. Oop. Right there, bring it up. Hit Control B to add in a curve. There we go. Then I'm gonna select that edge, hit 1, hit E, bring it down on the Z, and then I'm gonna hit SZ, woo, SZ0. Really, Windows, I don't need your notifications right now. Go away. Oh, and delete that first vertice. I forgot to deselect that one. But that just kind of gets in the way when you're making this part. So I'm going to bring it a bit closer. Hit RZ to kind of line up the angle of the X-Wing with the angle of this edge. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now that we have that, we're going to hit E again. Oop, E. Bring it down on the Z, but this time we're going to hit RX. Rotate it up that way. Bring it up. Bring it a bit closer. Sort of position it. Be a bit closer to the body. That's too close. Okay. There we go. Now that we have that pretty much done. There. Okay. We're going to add in one more extrusion and close it up there at the bottom. Alright, and we have the beginnings of our nose cone. I'm going to add in a loop cut right there, and I'm going to connect these vertices. Okay. I'm going to go to edge select the edges, F, F, and I know this one's a triangle, but it is really hard to avoid making a triangle here. But I do need to add in. I did forget one thing. I did those in the wrong order. I need to select this vertice and this vertice, hit F, and then select this vertice, F, and just keep connecting them. Then select the edges. And this is still going to be a triangle up here, but it gives us a much better look. And you may have noticed that this comes down a little bit too far, or it does for my liking at least. So I'm going to hit 3 and bring them up to a point that I like. Also, just bring these two down about the center, just above the center, and I'm going to add in a subdivision surface. I'm going to hit Tab to add in a couple of loop cuts around the major edges. And it didn't go all the way around because there's an odd number of vertices, or there was an odd number of vertices on that face. But if I do that, I hit Control R, add in another one, okay, just connect up with the knife tool, it can give me a pretty good result anyway. You just go along like this, adding loop cuts and using the knife tool to clean up some of the nastier edges. Alright. Yep. Forgot about this. I also need to clean this edge up. And connect it there. There. And there. Okay. And I was holding Control to get a better cut on that. So now I can add in some better loop cuts. Okay. Turn on smooth shading, see how it looks. It looks pretty dang good for the nose, but it's still a little too wide, so I'm going to select those top vertices, turn on proportional editing, and hit SX to narrow it up toward the point. Then I'm going to select this back edge loop, turn off proportional editing, and hit E and scale it down. And then I'm going to add in a loop cut to sharpen up that edge a bit, a couple of them. And as you can see, all of these edges are just a little too far, or they vary on the distance from the body. Or bring in all of the problematic corners. So that it looks a bit better and a bit more uniform. Oop. Alright, and there we go. We have our nose cone.